All right, let's talk about just being like resilient in your leadership. Oh man, the camera. All right, so kind of like how you just come back from a setback, right? So sometimes we have setbacks in leadership because that's just what happens, right? So one thing you can do is you can visualize your most recent setback, and instead of being hard on yourself, you just whisper, hey, this was an opportunity for me to adapt. We're going to do the hand over chest thing again. Okay, this was an opportunity for me to adapt. I'm stronger for coming out of this. I am a better leader than I was yesterday. I made my decision. There's no right or wrong. It was the best decision I made at the time. The most relevant evidence. There you go. That is literally the best way to do that. I swear to God. So one difficult time I had, one of my first difficulties in leadership, it really sucked, was I was in the Marine Corps. I was in Afghanistan. I had a Marine that I thought I was just getting through to this guy. Everyone did. I'm not going to tell you who it was. This guy had 2 or 3 court martials. It was ridiculous. I had just became an NCO, a corporal essentially, right before sergeant. And anyways, so what ended up happening was this guy was doing like spice in country. Somehow he was doing drugs and spice and all sorts of stuff. And like, I get that maybe he had some problems, I remember even Sergeant Major Young came up to me. He's like, that's a prom Marine you got there. I don't even know how the hell you do it, like, I thought I was getting through this. Now, I really believed I could help fix this guy, and it did not work. And that's fine. That was a setback. It wasn't fun. So anyways, this guy got caught with drugs, and it was horrible. I had to talk to NCIS about it. It was just not a fun situation. And it was really hard. And I had to, I kind of thought like, it wasn't fun being part of the process of the adjudication, like explain to NCIS what, like, it was a sergeant that came, a sergeant from some other thing came to me. He's like, smell this, and I'm like, oh my God, and then I was like, what the heck? And they just points like, that's from your Marine. I was like, oh my God. And it sucked. It took a lot of resilience, but at the same time, like, I had to literally detach myself from that situation and say, you know what? That was that guy's choice to do that, to use like a controlled substance while in country, completely ignoring other people's safety and stuff. And it was just not like a good situation. And so sometimes a burn of leadership could be doing that. You have to recognize also too, like, I have it like written down my notes. Your recent setback, whisper, this is part of growth. Feel your resilience, like roots deepening into the ground. So just imagine a tree. Just imagine like the tree connecting to your source, coming down through you, going into the ground. I'm stronger for this. It's important to say that. I'm stronger for this. I made the right choice. I made a decision. My resilience is stronger now. And you did your best. All right.